views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
You are now watching the Alan and DJ Show.
Yo, yo, yo. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Milwaukee, Sun Prairie, and all the surrounding areas. Welcome to the Alan and DJ TV show program. And I'm Alan.
And this is your boy DJ.
What's going on, Dirty?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Not too good, man. You know.
Really?
Bambi the deer hit me, just called me not so long. We gotta talk.
Ooh.
I said, what we gotta talk about? And she got the tripping because I was sitting there telling my in-laws some of our personal business. And she's like, you don't do that. What we talk about stay between us. That was my sister. They always dictating our relationship. That's why I don't like the... Hey. I think I got the perfect thing for us to talk about today because maybe I'm not the only one going through this. Mm-hmm. Maybe some of y'all out there going through this as well. Is it safe to hang out with in-laws a lot while being in a relationship? Ooh, I like the sound of that. Is it safe to hang around in-laws while being in a relationship? And I feel like these topics don't get talked about enough, so we're going to bring it to you the only way that we know how to bring it to you, the Alan and DJ way of bringing it to you. So without further ado, DJ, let's talk about bullet point number one, healthy boundaries. And why is it healthy to set boundaries when dealing with in-laws while being in a relationship?
Because like what it does is when you have healthy boundaries between your in-laws and your relationship, like what it basically does is if those people don't have those particular boundaries set in place right away, what happens is your in-laws start to dissect your relationship.
Yeah. And no, that's not good. Like my mama never played that.
Yeah.
Like my mom used to be like, you know, being around in-laws is one thing, but I don't hang around my in-laws like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to set healthy boundaries. Like it's important because what me and my partner going on, as far as like me and my Bambi the deer, it's none of your business.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, like you want to establish clear boundaries right away, straight off the jump with your in-laws regarding personal matters, decision making, and also involvement that they can have in your relationship because that could be detriment to your relationship. It can start bringing you down and you do not want that. Like, let's say for an example, you're talking about how much you make or how much he making, what y'all bringing in. Here, they going to get the judging, girl. Come be me. I'm just saying, like, don't you think that he need to make some more money? Okay, like, well, first off, stay on my business. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now I'm about to check you, or like, it's nothing like going to a barbecue and people looking. See, he brought him. You know, and she's like, dude, like what's up? Girl, nothing. He's like, what? Did he get a better job yet? Is he still a runner at Culver's? He's like, dog, what you mean? Girl, like, he been doing that job for 5 years. Like, I'm just saying, like, look, I'm not trying to be in your business, but, like, girl, like, I had to keep buying him shots of like alcohol yesterday because you know how you have enough money. I don't know how y'all paying the bills around there, but girl, you better get it together. You like. So, like, they chastise you, and you got other people jumping in on you. Man, that's your time to check them. Like,
absolutely.
Like, that's my business, that's my relationship. And then check him, too.
Yeah.
Because he talking out too much. Like, how they supposed to know what we got going on? Hey, man, let me stop before I get carried away, DJ.
No, what's crazy about that is that the reason why you want the healthy boundaries, too, is because, like, you don't want them to use that as ammo against you.
Nah, man, you don't.
It's crazy. Because, like, you give them one piece of information, they gon' process it and leave it in their mindset. But then all of a sudden, when something goes wrong or something happens to where, like, you don't do something for them, right. They going to use that little piece that you just told them. All of a sudden, they going to use it in a negative way.
And like it multiplies too. Like,
Absolutely.
Hey girl, let me tell you something. Did you hear? You're like, no, what happened? Robert just lost his job again. I don't know how they gonna pay the bills around there. And them kids, oh girl, I feel so bad for them kids. Like, and then like you ever hear them talking about you, like, hey, like, stay out my business, Seven. Like, why y'all talking about me? Like, you got something to say it to my face. Don't worry about how we gonna pay the bills. We gonna pay the bills. Like, that's the problem, Sharika. You're always talking too much. And then there'll be a big old fight. That's how the barbecue fights be happening all the time. Trust me, it gets ridiculous, but to get back on a serious note, though, you need to set a healthy boundary. Like, you got to check people right out the gate.
Absolutely.
Because I could be an in-law. I might try to test you. I might try to see what you got going on in your business. Check me if you got to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be like, hey, look, with all due respect, that's my wife, and, you know, like, we won't talk about our personal business. Or, like, dog, how's she in the bed, dog? Is she good? Hey, I don't talk about my sex life, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's with all due respect. You know, like, obviously I'm satisfied and I'm gonna leave it right there. Because people use that against you. Or, you know, girl, is he packing?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. Now the crazy, like that's funny that you actually mentioned that out. Like people should start using the method like know when to step up and know when to step off.
Right.
And what I mean by when I say that is like when a situation, when somebody is about to spill too much information, know when to step up and be like, hey, hold on, don't discuss that, or
right.
Like try to like throw the subject off by like talking about something totally different because you was about to spill some stuff that you wasn't even supposed to talk about.
Exactly.
Or and sometimes you gotta learn to step off, meaning like if it looks like it's finna go in the wrong direction, let the person talk a little bit more and see where it goes. If it looks like it's not finna go in that direction, back up, leave it alone.
Yep.
Then you're good.
Yep.
Because then you could be like you jumping in people's conversation and don't know what they're talking about, and you could end up spilling something that you wasn't supposed to spill.
Say. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not biased when it says to hanging out with your in-laws to a degree. Like that's cool, but you don't want to do that 24/7 because my mom always told me that the reason why her and her dad, her and my dad lasted as long as they did was because like they knew how to set healthy boundaries. Or even my aunties would tell me like the reason like me and my husband last as long as we did, or my uncles would say me and my wife last as long as we did. Like my auntie Susie and my uncle Alex, I love that relationship. So dope, man.
Mm-hmm.
Been together for over 40-some years, and that's real like strong love right there.
That's beautiful.
And you know, they say because they set boundaries. Now they keep a lot of people out of their business. There's only so much I would let you involve in. And then there's only so much when you feel like, dude, okay, now you're getting disrespectful because now you're crossing the line, and you know, you can't have that, or else your relationship gonna be just as good as dead before you even just really begun. Because they can put a certain poison in their mind, DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, if I'm around some in-laws and they telling me about how you used to be, and man, she was on that pole bad, boy, I'm telling you, or man, dude was doing this, he was slanging, he was doing that, and he stayed in jail 24/7. It started making you think like, man. And then, man, you know, word had it, man. Like, I don't know what happened to that murder. There's people said he did that. And then like, you looking around the family, you like, dang, for real? Like, who am I dealing with?
Yeah.
So, you know, nah, man, like, I just say, man, try to avoid that at all costs.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about bullet point number 2, communicating openly with your partner. And why is that important, DJ, when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, hanging out with in-laws, to communicate openly with your partner before certain things start to get there or maybe even escalate? Like,
the reason why that's important is because, like, you want to share that information with your spouse. And when you share that information with your spouse, y'all come to an understanding that certain things don't need to be slipped out. And if certain things don't need to be slipped out, then y'all got that agreement and y'all got that understanding and y'all built that trust to where like y'all trust each other not to spill the beans on each other. I agree, DJ, 100%. I say, yeah, it's very having openly communication with your partner when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, like,
things that could be hindering like y'all relationship. So when it comes to like in-laws, like specifically, like discuss your concerns that you might have with his or her in-laws with your partner, and ensure that they are on the same page and y'all can be better together about managing interactions.
Absolutely.
So, so let's say if I got married, my wife come first before now my mother.
Absolutely.
So if my mother out of line, I gotta, hey mama, you doing too much. I gotta check you. You know what I'm saying? I gotta check you because that's my wife. Or, even if my wife doing too much, going in on my in-laws, hey, like y'all both need to sit down and stop it. You know what I'm saying? And, make sure though that before you even get there that, like I have certain communications like, hey, look, when we get around people, we don't talk about our finances. We don't talk about our sex life. Certain things are just off limits. We could talk about sports. Man, we could talk about things in the past. Okay, that's cool. But when it starts coming to like personal stuff or like how much our incomes and what we bringing in, that's between us. That's because then we start letting your in-laws get that close and start getting that comfortable with saying little things like that. I promise your relationship going down. It's going down the drain.
No, like what communication does is it basically helps you figure out what your spouse needs and what you need to work on in your particular relationship. Yeah. But it also helps you figure out like what type of in-laws you actually have.
Exactly. I could have slipped out and said something wrong, or I could have slipped out and said some things that I wasn't supposed to say. Talk to me, communicate with me. Like you can give me a look, like, because women known for that. And then you look and you like, dang, like, man, we got to talk later. But, like, man, I don't feel like going through that, man.
Yeah.
But, then, like, y'all had that communication. Hey, look, man, today you took it too far. I don't mind you talking to my family. Y'all can talk about anything under the sun, but what we got going on as far as our private life is it's our business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never let that get out. And that's having a communication, a mature communication, so y'all could be aligned on the same page.
You know what's crazy, Al, is that like the reason like communication is so important is that when these problems occur in people's lives, like they don't address it at all.
No, absolutely not.
Like even if it's going on right then and there, or you slipped out and said something, instead of that person like right away like confronting them and communicate, or even communicating with them ahead of time and letting them know not to let that slip out. What happens is like now that stuff builds up, and it builds up, and it builds up, and then all of a sudden it turns into anger. And when it turns into anger, then all of a sudden that comes to lashing out.
Yeah, it's rappers when like when that happened, and that's basically like what we trying to say, like in a nutshell, like don't let it get to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if something bothering you, please have an open communication with your partner, and make sure like that y'all do align yourself on the same page, so then people know like y'all the couple not to play with. Matter of fact, y'all the couple that people look up to. You know what I'm saying? And like y'all set a standard. You know what I'm saying? Like be like, I'm not saying so much of a power couple or a super couple, but be able to be that couple that set a standard that people could like look after and seek to you for advice. Like, man, like how do you and Bambi the deer last so long, man? Or like how y'all do it, and you can be able to, express that communication and, and be able to give really, really great sound advice. But also dealing with in-laws, because that could be messy. They can get in your business and mess up everything you got going on, especially if they don't like you.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about bullet point number 3. Let's talk about addressing issues directly.
This is very important.
This is very important, bro, because this needs to be talked about. Like, what happens when it comes to, like, let's say, like a big friction, DJ. It's been a big friction, big disagreement going on, and a person now had to get into a situation where they had to address something. How do you handle that when it comes to hanging out with in-laws by being in a relationship?
First of all, like if the issue doesn't get handled right then and there or right away, the situation is going to get worse.
It sure is.
So basically, what you want to do is like address the issue head on, and when you address the issue, it relieves you of the stress, and it gives the other person clarity on what needs to be done.
I totally agree. You know, like when you're addressing, you know what I'm saying, like issues, be direct with your partner. Say,
Absolutely.
hey, look, let's say if she got around her in-laws and she got the fronting a lot, and you peeping it, you like, man, okay, dog, she never act like this. Or like, man, like, little Dirty never moved like that. Or, you know, like, I just told Dirty that I ain't had that much money in the car. Now you getting out here in front of me off. So I'm supposed to give you something. You know what, I'm going to tell you the same thing. I told them that, you know what, I'm going to say the same thing in front of them like I told you in the car. I don't got that. So they look at me a certain type of way. It just is what it is. But the real way you should really handle is if there's like any specific behaviors that are bothering you when it comes to like certain in-laws directly, respectfully talk to them about it. Say, hey, look, man, hey, bro, like, let me holler at you for a minute. Hey, I know you probably don't mean no harm, no pun intended, man, but I know that's your sister, but that's my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her just like you love her. And with all due respect, what we got going on is what we got going on. And that's for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't talk about my sexual business. I don't talk about my personal finances with nobody. We're not going to do that. And I'm not going to try to get in your business. If we could draw the line right here. Let's respect each other now. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing that you always want to do is you want to de-escalate the situation before it escalate. Because sometimes when it does escalate, it's no point of return.
Yep. And like basically what you want to do is like, don't keep secrets, especially with your spouse.
Yeah.
About like how you feel, especially how you feel about your in-laws.
Agree.
But also you want to stop keeping stuff inside. And like when you keep stuff inside, like you said before, like it builds up and it builds up and it builds up, and then that's when you get the lashing out.
And you know, like you been done something crazy, or you know, like now you got the secret animosity because they could have told you something about her that could be somewhat true.
Yep.
Oh yeah, man, dog, I'm telling you about my sister now, and woo woo, and or maybe about your husband, or maybe about your wife. And instead of letting that stuff build up and it's bothering you, let's say, hey, let's have a conversation. You know, like, first off, I feel like your in-laws are taking it too far. You know, they jumping in our business. They judging me. They judging you. And, you know, they said that, you know, once upon a time, you know, you did some things back in the day to get a few dollars. Is that true? Address the issue directly. Don't beat around the bush. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's the only way that we're going to get somewhere. And that's the only way that we're going to get something solved is let's address this directly. If I have a problem with you, I got a problem with you. Or, you know, if I feel like Dirty jipping, like, you know, like he dipping too hard in our business and he's saying out of line stuff, I'm going to have that conversation with you as a man. I need to pull you to the side, homie. We got to talk. All right, bro. Okay. I'll wait till you done. We got to talk. Because win, lose, or draw, I just need you to know how I feel as a man. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, that's why I always say, man, be careful hanging with your in-laws. Be careful kicking it with them 24/7 because eventually they're going to get in your business.
Yep. And the reason why like this bullet point is so important is because your in-laws can have secret hatred for your spouse.
There you go. There you go. And like, it could be because she just natural. She like to keep her hair done. Or it could be because she ain't with the messy stuff.
Yeah.
Or maybe your husband ain't with the messy stuff. You're like, man, nah, like I don't roll like that. Yeah. Like, you know, I got a 6-figure company. Yeah. Like I got an image to uphold.
Yeah.
Oh, he think he better than us. Now, I don't know why you bring him over here. His head's so in the clouds. Yeah. Calm down, my G. That don't mean I think I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just not with the mess. You know what I'm saying? Some people like peace and stability in their life.
Absolutely.
And, you know, like when you keep hanging around these in-laws, man, you know, like it's nothing wrong sometimes. You know, you go to birthdays, family functions. Yes, that's cool. But every day, 24/7 thing, man, you asking for it.
Absolutely.
You asking for it. I swear, like they gonna get in your business, man. And then like that's how they get to know little things about you. Like and they might sit there, watch, and then They going back whispering it to other family members. And then now when that big barbecue come, everybody staring at you. And you're like, man, everybody looking at me like this. What's going on? Hey, girl. Now all of a sudden she like, what? Like, what's going on? Auntie Anita, what's going on? Did he buy you a ring yet? Like, y'all been together for 5 years. Did he even put a ring on it? Like, I just want to, no, check him. You got to check him.
Yep.
Cannot be afraid. Check him.
Yep.
Let's get into bullet point number 4, DJ. Seeking support if needed. And I kind of want to stay on this one for a little bit. Like, why is it important to seek support if needed when it comes to dealing with in-laws and a relationship?
Because like, it's very important, like, to have your spouse back, because it's going to be times where like your spouse might get tested by your in-laws. So because your in-laws testing your spouse, you're going to have some type of, she's going to have some type of support, or else why did she even date you in the first place?
That's true. That's true. Like Brother Fizz, me dealing with the in-laws, but somebody on the side of that in-law family might be somebody that could be mature. They can understand and say, hey, look, I know what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like my mom always say, as long as we're in this world, we all need somebody that we can talk to. You know what I'm saying? Because you go crazy, or, like you've been and made some bad decisions where somebody who's more experienced and been there and done this, you know what I'm saying, longer than you, they can give you sound advice on how you need to navigate in this world with handling issues like that. But when it comes to seeking support if needed, man, like I tell people all the time, if your in-laws are causing you significant amount of stress, it's like, man, like every time I come around, they look at me, they judge me, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always something, you know what I'm saying? Or like whatever case may be, consider like maybe couples therapy, where y'all can work through some of these problems and throw out the challenges and help developing better strategies when it comes to communication. Because at the end of the day, communication is everything. If we don't got no communication, mama, then what is we doing here? Because we don't got no communication going on. So then you don't know how I'm feeling. I don't know how you secretly feeling. And I'm just like mad at the world. And you got something to be in there. Like, Trayon, what's going on with you? No, nothing, man. I'm good. Just nothing, bro. Nothing, bro, man. I'm going to figure it out. It's all good. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, you was better off with dude than me. That's because they've been and got into that man's head already.
Yep. Like what you want to do is basically just talk to an expert, talk to a counselor, talk to friends, talk to teachers.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes even people rely on their coworkers. Like I wouldn't recommend that, but some people rely on their coworkers to get them through the situation, because like they basically probably going through the same thing that you're probably going through, so they can give you a perspective on like how to solve your issue. But also the reason why seeking support is important too is because now you can't play victim anymore.
I agree. Like if you're dealing with somebody from work, because I wouldn't recommend it either, but if you do find, because you're always gonna have like at least 1 or 2 mature people out of that bunch. Like that's why I always feed a person a little bit before I start giving them a lot, just to see if you're gonna go back and tell something that I told you. And then when it comes back, nobody knew that but you, because you're the only one I told. So, like try to feed a little bit, maybe get to the outskirts of the problem, and then maybe start slicing deeper down the middle, going down the rabbit hole, saying like this was really going on. Because you got some mature people at work that you can talk to and then maybe be experiencing what you have been going through. And they can give you some very good sound advice. You just, I'll say don't go all the way in, because, it's still a workplace. And then you don't know how people are when they get mad at you one day and they use what how they say it, they use what you told to hurt you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I just say this, man, when you dealing with in-laws in a relationship, please communicate. Please let your partner know before we even start this thing. This how it has to go down. And you ain't saying nothing wrong. You have to draw boundaries. Like you have to draw healthy boundaries, not unrealistic boundaries, but healthy boundaries. Like, man, look, I don't mind hanging with them. We can do everything under the sun, but we're not gonna put people in our business. But Just to wrap this show up, let's talk about the Alan and DJ's final thought. DJ, what's your final thought when it comes to hanging out with in-laws in a relationship?
When it comes down to hanging out with in-laws, basically what you want to do is set clear boundaries. Never handle a situation alone. Like get the support that you need to get from either your spouse or somebody else that is unbiased to your situation. But also you want to be able to just because they're your in-laws don't mean that they're not important, but they're low on the totem pole when it comes down to your spouse. So it's before you get married, it's always your mom, your parents and stuff, and then it's your wife. Then it's family, then it's your wife. But then once you get married, then the wife steps up and becomes that head, and becomes that queen, and all of a sudden becomes wife, family, in-laws, and etc. And the lower they are on the totem pole, is the less important is the less that you have to attend to them. So because you have to attend to them the least amount, that's the least amount of information you need to release to them.
Oh yeah, I like that, DJ. I just say my final thought is just, if you feel some type of way, communicate. You know what I'm saying? Please set boundaries. Address issues directly. Don't beat around the bush, because how can I help you if you're beating around the bush? I can't help you if you're not being direct with me. And you can't help me if I'm not being direct with you. And most importantly, if all fails, please seek support. Because nor are we not therapists, relationship coaches, or anything like that, but we really do want the best for you, and we really do want you to become the best version of yourself. Now, you can find Alan and DJ at gmail.com if you have any questions pertaining to this conversation and so on and so forth, or maybe the next things that you want us to talk about. You can find us on the Alan and DJ Show on our fan page on Facebook, and Alan and DJ Show on YouTube. And you can also find us my personal page, Alan Hutchinson, on Instagram and Facebook. And you can find William J. Smith on Instagram and Facebook. And until next time, keep people out your business. Because you don't, you're asking for it. Because you know why? When you keep them out your business, you'll stay well, you'll stay healthy.
Peace.
Yeah.